With the final raid for the Pathfinders underway, I wanted to give a brief update on the builds that I'm using for both the Pathfinder and the incredibly hard to pronounce Agamemnon builds. Hey everyone, Derby here, and welcome back to another Battle Pirates video. As I get started, I want to say that the builds I'm going to show you are going to be updated and added to my builds document here, which you can access totally for free by accessing the link in the YouTube description. Special shout out, of course, to the channel members who keep videos like this one possible. Also, I've upgraded my audio setup. Let me know if you notice any differences. I added a few filters and whatnot. Let's go ahead and get into the builds. Now, I will mention that my fleet is all the way upgraded, all the way X1, cap, all that fun stuff. It's not 100% legendary. I've got some rares, epics, etc. on there. I'm not entirely a fan of the new system, but I have upgraded this as much as possible. My builds are also, especially for the Pathfinder, almost identical in terms of the strategies to what I initially gave in a video 3 months ago, so I do have that going for it. Here is the damage ship setup. This particular one is the Pathfinder Capital X1 Tiebreaker Pathfinder. A lot of stuff going on with this one, but it's a damage setup. The differences initially are that, of course, we have the 2 heavy armor slots. I've gone for 1 explosive and 1 concussive. As I get more armors, etc., I will upgrade this concussive one to a legendary one or an epic one if I have that, which is a free refit as long as it is the same damage type. I really wouldn't worry too much about which damage type it is. Just get the highest ones on there you can. One of each is what I've gone for. Of course, the weapons are legendary on this one. If I had another legendary weapon, I would change this one as 2, but I don't. So that's a few slight changes there that will mess up the hash codes if you are playing around with those. The one change I have made to the specials is a new special which did not exist when the ship first came out, which is the Vanguard belt system. I picked this up from Strike or one of the replacements, and as you can see, it has a 140% concussive damage, which is a whopping 5% increase over the other one, and of course, same increase for reload. Overall, not a huge upgrade, not worth doing it, but I had the time and I had the points in Strike whenever we got this. Figured I might as well do this one. Not a big difference, but I did want to explain where that change came from. That is the damage ship, which is the Cap 1 or X2, which I find the build time for that is insane. It's a 19-day upgrade. You heard that right, 19 days, which means it's impossible to use this in Strike if you want to use it in both of the raids that are before and after Strike 3. I've asked Kixeye what they're doing about that and have not got a response on that. In any case, let's take a look at the other ship setups. Here is the Gale ship setup. As you can see, I've dropped my lower weapons on this one because these ones are doing basically 0 damage compared to the full X1 ship. This is loaded out completely with Gales, which I'm keeping, also has 1 of each armor, and has no changes to any of these specials, so nothing new on that one. Same story if I take a look at the anti-torpedo ship. This one has a bunch of cormorants on it all the way, 2 very low specials, and has the armors that are, I'll downgrade these ones even if I have to the lowest ones I can, although maybe armors on this should be the max ones so my anti-ship can live the longest. No changes to the specials on this, didn't have Hexfire on there at all. Of course, the other 2 ships in the fleet, which are currently in positions 3 and 5, these ones seem to move around a lot. I don't keep them in the same spots. That doesn't really matter anymore. Are full damage ships, which have the same build, although a different hash code as they're a different ship, to the Pathfinder flagship, Tiebreaker Pathfinder. I've, of course, changed out Vanguard belt system in using this one instead of Hexfire because it has 5% higher damage. That's the update to the Pathfinder build. Taking a look at the Agamemnon, going to pronounce that approximately 0 more times in this video. Here is what I've gone for, which is a little bit of an unconventional build. Most people are using a bunch of V-morts or using a bunch of cool stuff like that because they're trying to outrun things. I'm not doing that because I like autoing. If we have to hit 4 targets to complete a single set, I'm going to auto 3 of those. I'm not driving every single target in this anymore, especially with the dark water that has 0 contrast. For that reason, I've gone for 2 cormorants and 2 sprints. I could be convinced to go for 3 of those, doesn't really bother me, and then all the rest are just going to be weapons to do maximum damage. Of course, if I did have more epics, I would replace the common ones, and same thing with, the blue ones, etc. I don't actually have any legendary ones, which shows you exactly how many chests of this I've bought in particular. Again, not a huge fan of that system, and it looks like I will need to add one more heavy gun, and I should get that from the FM before the raid starts tomorrow. In terms of the officers, you might say, Derpy, you've gone with these three. Why those three? To be honest with you, these are the best three I got after opening about 7 chests. As soon as I got the captain right here, which there's just one of, obviously there's a legendary captain, and the first 2 legendary ones I got, I stopped getting the chests at 1.5 million each or whatever insane price they're going for, 4 million, 4.5, couldn't tell you. I just got the first 3 good crews and stopped using those. Obviously, the captain one here, even being 2 stars, is really good. Evade, concussive damage, projectile speed, combat speed, these are all nice things to have. The other ones I've got happen to be not the captain, but happen to be the, Archimedes is this one, a bunch of survival. Survival gets worse as you have more of it. This makes more of a difference at E1 than it does at E10. I still have this one on here. I'm not going to, use something else like 40k survival instead of 150k survival. And then the last one here is the Leo officer. This one has evade and turn speed, which is of course nice and helps out dropping the V-mords. You could argue that maybe this other one I don't have, concussive damage, is better in some cases, especially if I'm worried about time to kill. I haven't really worried too much about that. Just put on the best 3 officers you have and open more chests if you want slightly higher odds at better officers. I got 3 that I'm happy with, so I'm going to stop with that. And this is the one at E10. The other one I've kept it. Maybe it's up to E2 at this point. I didn't like having to redeem more kits or whatever we've got these days for that one. And again, I intend to auto with this one. And honestly, my tiebreakers have been autoing like the 101 as well as the 100s, which is, pretty good, especially at full cap. This one has still been driving. The driving I'm getting target because it's, it's a pain to try and auto and take massive amounts of damage. In any case, I want to give you all a quick update on the builds that I was using for the upcoming raid, and I guess I will make sure that I get my last Rumbler, so I need to go get another 50k Forsaken mission points. In any case, if you're watching this after the raid starts, hope it's going well for you. Hope the low contrast on the dark water is not too crazy. If it is, go ahead and talk to Kixeye about that. If you have any questions on the raid, go ahead and let me know. I'll do my best to get some videos out in the first few days. And as always, this is going to be Derpy signing out, helping you be a better pirate.